cards. That's cool.
Yeah, let me go get you one.
Wow. Well, is that a Powerpuff Girl or something?
No, can you not see she has a mohawk and wheelchair? We're not getting sued.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Uncivil Law, where we learn through the misfortunes of others. For today's content, we're not doing so much on legal education as some LawTube education, because as I'm sure many of you are who are aware, there is some controversy suggested about the LawTubes. Ooh, controversy and drama. People love the controversy and drama. So I'm going to talk about this in a very public way, and by which I mean in a very general way, because I don't really have anything specific to say about anything. But I'm going to say pretty much everything I've ever said whenever asked about LawTube, ever, which is that it's a very, very, very loose affiliation of people. It is and always has been a very, very, very loose affiliation of people. So that is to say, there isn't and never really has been LawTube. It has never been an organization or a thing. It's an arbitrary label some people have put on people, or some people have adopted. Kind of like BreadTube, I suppose, in that way. From what I understand about BreadTube, it's just a group of people that basically people recognize as being part of BreadTube, and so too LawTube. This is how it has always been. It has never been any more organized than this. LawTube has always been a bunch of independent creators who are independently creating content on similar subject matter, and from time to time work with each other on various things. That's all it's ever been. Sometimes people are solo, and sometimes people are more solo than others. You know, some people pretty much only do things solo. Some people do things more in law groups. Some people do things more in teams. And some people do things with particular people that they resonate with. That's how it's been. I've seen various lists of people that are supposedly part of LawTube. Some of these people I personally have never recognized as being members of LawTube. That has nothing to say about them in particular. I'm not trying to insult them, because there is no real thing called LawTube. It's just that for whatever reason, their circle of people that they talk to is not really overlapping my circle. And see, the circles also change and are dynamic, and there's not like even consistent circles of people. It's not like there's some sort of consistent group of people. It just doesn't really exist. So this whole controversy on some level is really, really dumb. It's incredibly dumb. People are trying to make a drama out of something that doesn't exist. Sometimes I want to do solos. Let's just talk about me. How about me? Sometimes I want to do solos, like I'm doing right now. Sometimes I might want to have people on. Sometimes I select who those people are. I want to do something specifically with these people. Sometimes I send it out to a group of people and invite them in a more general way. It just depends. Everyone is able to, and there have been people, who I coordinate less with because, our content doesn't jive or our personalities don't jive. It's just like people in the world, right? You're not, even among your friends, you're not equally friendly with all your friends. Presumably, you have closer friends and further friends. Friends you do more things with and friends you do less things with. Friends you have more things in common and less things in common, and so forth and so on. And from time to time, you might want to do things on your own. So the whole thing is really, really dumb. And so from just a purely practical matter, if any one of us, whoever LawTube is, and I don't even know who that is, to be honest, but if any one of us ever wanted to have people in or people not, or to exclude people or include people, fine. We are and always have been as sovereign, independent states. We can and cannot have relationships with people or not based on any criteria that strikes our fancy or not, because it's totally arbitrary. There is no LawTube, and there never has been. So I think the whole thing is really, really dumb, is all I have to really say about the subject. And so, and I think people are trying to stir things up because they want there to be drama. I think some of it, at least, is coming from people who are, some of it, and not all of it to be sure, but some of it is coming from, let's say, traditional media sources or other people who are opposed to the political ideologies of LawTube as a generalized organization, which to the extent there is one, which there really isn't, is more right-leaning. So there's some opposition for that. There's some opposition from mainstream media. There's some people who just like drama for the hell of drama and blah, 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 blah. It's all really boring, right? And Nick Rakita, by the way, who is a friend of mine on a personal level, I've been over to his house. Like everything he said about LawTube on his channel, right? It's nothing inconsistent with what he's ever said ever. I mean, he's had a consistent position about this thing through and through. So like when Nick got on and said, oh, I'm not really a member of LawTube, I don't really believe in groups and stuff, it surprised me exactly 0 seconds. Because this has been Nick's position consistently. He always wants to be treated as an independent person. He never really liked any sort of group dynamics. He wants the ability and flexibility to have people on or not, or join people's streams or not, and he doesn't really want any sort of label on it at all because he feels like any sort of label might create some sort of group dynamic issues, which, you know, okay, fair enough, but that has always been Nick's position. It's nothing new. It wasn't the death of LawTube. I mean, that's just the same position he's always had. So I don't know what even people are talking about half the time. So I'm sorry to really disappoint a lot of people out there about the whole thing. You know, I disabled comments and disabled chat on this particular one because, you know, I don't need people stirring up controversy here or trying to poke the bear. Because on this particular one, I don't really care what people have to say about it. I'm just going to tell you what is, you know, what's true to me. And what's true to me is, you know, friendships are dynamic, and you're more friends or less friends with people, and you invite people more or less, and you affiliate with people more or less. And it's really no different than any friend group you've ever been in, like ever. It's like when you say you're friends, calling us LawTube is a little bit like calling your friends as a group, right? Who are your friends? And it's also like a little bit like people from the outside trying to determine who your friends are versus you yourself trying to determine who your friends are, right? So friends is also a bit of an amorphous label, right? It's basically the same. In the real world here, it's just a very loose coalition of people who hang out with each other sometimes and sometimes less, and sometimes they don't want to hang out with each other as much or whatever. And they just are very loosely kind of affiliated with each other. And sometimes, you know, there's no drama. So please stop trying to make a drama thing. LawTube is as it ever was. It has not changed. It is very much a very loose, unorganized, anarchistic bunch of cats that are unhurtable at this point. And yeah, that's it. So that's really all I wanted to say about that. Stop trying to make the LawTube drama thing a thing. It's kind of hilarious to watch because it's so stupid, because I don't even know what's going on. You know, creators can choose to have on who they want or not, and people can choose to watch creators or not as they might like. So, you know, do that. Be free. That's really all I have to say about that. Hope everyone's having a good day. Until later, my friends, I hope all is well. Cheers and goodbye.
It's endorsed by the government, and that and man, Attorney Tom keeps getting he keeps getting timed out by your chat.
No, he's timing out people now.
Oh,
you're misreading it.
Oh,
you're misreading it.
Oh,
I made him a mod. He's timing out everybody.
Him a wrench. Oh no.
Well, I do have a standard policy. I mean, I do have a standard policy of giving all my LawTube members a wrench.
Yeah. Do I have a wrench?
Just, you know,
I do. I do have a wrench.
Yeah, you do have a wrench. Yeah, I give all my LawTube members a wrench because we're in a partnership together, camaraderie, and
I do the brotherhood. Same thing.
And yeah, so
I do the same thing. Oh, that's funny. Oh man, he's drunk with power now. So funny.
Attorney Tom, for you, I mean, in all honesty, Attorney Tom, for you to get demodded, you'd actually have to work pretty hard at not being my friend anymore. And I don't think either of us want to go down that road. I genuinely respect Attorney Tom. I genuinely respect all of LawTube, and for you to demod would have to result in a serious schism. So let's try not to do that, because that sounds like a bad plan. I don't want to have a serious schism with Attorney Tom. He's my friend. Please don't stab me in the back, Attorney Tom. That'd be great. I love Attorney Tom and I love Nick Rekieta. I love them all. That's fine.
Also, I've gotten there's a question in the chat about if I'm distancing myself from Rekieta law because it's not PC. Some people have asked me if I'm like mad at Rekieta because I haven't been on his channel.
I think Emily D. Baker's mad at me.
Oh really? Well, no,
Yeah.
but the question was about. I've gotten some questions about whether I'm like trying to avoid Nick Rekieta. That's not the case at all. I just haven't really been available at the times that he's been streaming because I've been trying to hit a balance because of my time zone that I'm on. I've been trying to hit a balance.
I mean, we all have commitment.